Hey everyone, this is a demonstration of the program I wrote for your coding test. I chose not to start a new solution. Instead, I use a program I worked previously, which has graphics windows and the menus and toolbars. So I added this button here to offset model. As I click this, I can go find the files. So here are the files we have. We have four files here. We can select all of them together or select one by one. So for each of them, it's going to ask us the offset value. By default, we go 1 millimeters bigger. So we finish the first one. For the second one, let's do -1. For the third one, we can do 1. For the fourth one, we can do smaller, for example, minus point, just -1. Now, let's see how bigger offset values could generate. Let's look at the second file. Let's do a big value. So if we can generate, we will create a self-intersection or that kind of effect. Let's make it 3 millimeters. Now look at those files here. So this is our original first case, the offset value, which is bigger. The second case, the offset, which is smaller. Third, bigger. Fourth, this one has lots of holes here, artifacts, and the model is really thin. So the offset value model will generate artifacts on those edges, which as expected, we can do further cleanup. This is the last one. As we said, we type big values so that we don't create artifacts like self-intersections. So we'll export all of those files and we see the model quality. For example, I export this one. Export to the folder to see those files. If we double click this one, we can use mesh lab to review the file. Take a look at the mesh. You can tell it has very good model quality. There's no artifacts like reverse directions, overlapping triangles, or that kind of stuff. This totally production ready. Look at the second one, because we have two files, one bigger offset, one smaller offset. So this is getting bigger, and this getting smaller, and this one is getting bigger. We can check the model qualities here too. This is the mesh, and let's look at the second one. You see, even though with big offset values, we don't create self-intersections. Again, this product ready. So the last one. So let's talk a little bit about how we do this. For every single STL files, they could come with flipped flipped triangles, holes, multiple shells, etc. What we do is first we find the largest shell, fill the holes, correct the normals if there's any problems, then we do the offset. The offset, in order to do the offset, we need to define what kind of offset values we want, the orientation we want, and how are we going to deal with the self-intersections. We're doing a smooth morphing of the model instead of point-to-point offset. So we clean up the model properly, and eventually we create the STL file, we export the STL files in this workflow with the correct face normals as the final results. And you can tell the mesh quality, the face normals are all good. So this is the overall process. I'm sorry I cannot give the source code because it's lots of experience in here, years of working experience. Uh, Honestly, 1 or 2 hours is not a practical estimation for this test. Please let me know if you have any questions or if you want to run more tests together.